Hello and welcome to tonight's show.
And hello and welcome to episode 203 of On the Bench, the podcast for scale modelers by scale modelers, all about scale models. This episode is being brought to you by our latest Patreon supporter, Tim Cavalier. You too can help support the show. Simply go to www.patreon.com/onthebench and pledge any amount from as little as $1 per month. All of our paid Patreon supporters get a free OTB sticker and, of course, go into the fantastic Patreon Wheel of Fortune. But before we get on with the show, let's hear from our wonderful sponsor, the Scale Model Supply.
Are you looking for top quality paints for your next project? Then look no further than the Scale Modeler Supply, Australia's hobby paint. Hi, I'm Scott, and as a passionate modeler myself, I've spent years creating the SMS product range, designing them specifically with the scale modeler in mind. We have worked extensively to develop our acrylic lacquer paint range to not only be airbrush ready straight out of the bottle, but also to be easy to use so that anyone of any skill level can create professional results with minimal effort. Just give the bottle a good shake, pour into your airbrush, and spray at 15 psi. So dive into your next project with confidence, knowing that you're backed by one of the finest hobby paints on the market. Head over to our website at scalemodeler.com.au to check out our full range and to find your closest retailer.
And we're in the pipe 5x5. In the studio, I've got Ian.
G'day, Dave. G'day, Julian. G'day, everyone else.
You should see the looks I'm getting from Julian for using that reference.
Oh, that's painful.
What do you mean it's painful? Come on, dude.
It's painful.
That's sci-fi hardcore. Come on.
Okay.
Bit of aliens.
Okay.
How are you, Julian?
Yeah, I'm good. Speaking of aliens, did you see that diorama I sent you?
Yes. For the listeners, you better explain what it is.
Oh, yeah, so someone did one of those sort of resin pour dioramas, but it was the scene from Alien.
Yeah.
Which movie was it?
Alien 2, the second one, where they're on the world. So she's swimming. They have to swim through the water.
Yeah.
And the aliens are hunting Ripley as they go through the water.
Yeah, and the aliens are swimming with them. Yeah.
That was really well
done.
That was
such an iconic scene, you know?
Yes.
What really impressed me with that diorama, there were absolutely no bubbles whatsoever in that resin. It was a really good pour.
I'd say they've used a vacuum chamber.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was pretty big.
It was.
It was at least like I don't know, an A4 size
Size, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be. I didn't watch the video because it was one of those YouTube channel things.
Yep.
And they've just spun it off to one of those little shorts that they. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I think they're finished, so maybe they haven't done the YouTube channel yet.
Yes.
In any case, it was the sort of kitchen area where they've got all the, the racks for serving all the trays, and you got all the plates and stuff sort of on the floor and everything in there in that space.
It was really, really good. Really well done.
Yeah.
Yes, totally agree.
What else is new, gents? This is our last episode for season 8, and we're going to be taking a bit of a break because we've got Christmas coming up, New Year's. Ian has to move.
Yes, I'm moving.
So
it's a nightmare, dude. Seriously, it's a freaking nightmare. I can't believe how much crap I've accumulated in the past.
I can.
35, 40 years.
I mean, how many? Not almost every episode you've bought either another kit or another book.
Yeah, well,
it's all got to go somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, but
and have you found out that books are essentially planks of wood? And every time, if you have any amount of it, it gets that heavy. It's like you're just carrying lumber around.
Yes. So what I've been doing is, at the moment now, everything's just going into storage. So what I'm doing is I'm just loading the books into the car loose with a few boxes, and then when I get to my destination, I put them in the boxes and then tape the boxes up. Because it's I've got to do 3 carloads just of novels.
Well, I'll be
I've got a
over.
slight
I'll be
order.
over there next Saturday to give you a
Yeah.
hand.
Because I haven't got long to go.
But here's my challenge, though. So, you know how, like, when you it's gonna be like walking through a model shop, because I'm gonna be sort of picking up all this stuff and going, "Oh, this is interesting," and I'll want to stop and have a look at it. I'm gonna have to be very disciplined and just pick them up, put them in the car, and
You will.
just
Yes.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think there'll be a bit of that. I think after the first few handfuls, you're like, yeah, it's just another one of these.
Just
sort
get
of
it
things,
done.
you know.
Yeah. Because I'm running out of time.
Well, let's just hope that it's not a really hot day, because we've had some crackers of hot days so far in this season. And Monday's going to be 39, 40 degrees Celsius.
It's going to be a warm one.
Yeah.
So I was going to make sure on Monday when I load the car up Sunday night that I don't have anything that can melt in the car over while I'm at work.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
It's all fun and games.
So you haven't been doing any building at all?
No, I've just been moving stuff for the
All right,
past
well, let's
2
forget
weeks.
you. Let's move on to Julian. Have you been doing any building?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I should be working. I should have started the Moosaroo by now, but I just wanted to get like one more car out model out of the way, and I do have the time, and it's going very, very quickly.
What?
So this is the Revell Jaguar E-Type.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Yeah,
Nice car.
I've got the whole thing. Like I'm just working on interior pieces now because they're a bit fiddly. There's a lot of chrome trim, so behind the seats, there's like a whole sort of back area because it's the coupe version, right? It's got that hatch, and it's got like apart from the upholstery, it's got like little lines of like, you know, sort of to help, you know, slide things across and hold the weight of the luggage and stuff.
Yep,
and the little
yep.
chrome trim pieces that are like, there's like 5 of these strips that go all the way across. And then there's more little bits and pieces across the little dividing wall. All these little fasteners and things like
so
that.
you can,
and
secure your
so
luggage.
I had to spend quite a bit of time like masking all that off and then chroming it.
So you're going to get like a special haircut to do this model?
What? Is there a haircut that's associated with E-types?
Well, haven't you seen the new Jag ads?
Oh, that. Yeah. Now, this is a different era, dude.
It's like the first time I saw that, it was like that Homer Simpson comment. What the hell was that?
Well, I mean, it's a ye-old fashioned Jaguar.
Yes.
So, you know, if anything, whatever haircut.
Tweed suits.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it brings. Yeah, and one of those what are they, European caps or
Yes.
whatever it is.
The
Yeah.
driving gloves. You put the driving gloves on.
Oh, not so much. Is there really maybe driving gloves if it was an open top one?
No, but even you see these old English gentlemen as they're driving along with
they've
their
got their
tweed jackets and their
rabbit skin gloves.
jodhpurs and their and they put these gloves on. It's like the top is sort of exposed on the top of your palm of your hand, and
You know, my dad, he used to drive an MGB,
Yep.
right? And I remember him telling me that one time he tried buying driving shoes.
what? Oh, like racing shoes or
No, like just driving shoes.
what?
They're like a type of leather shoe or something like that, you know, with like a flat bottom, whatever it is. I don't know. In any case, he said they were terrible. His foot slipped off the pedals and almost had an accident. So he was like, "Yep, those are going in the bin."
Jeez.
It was that era, you know, like, you know, I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe like 80s and 70s and 80s or something.
Yeah, late
and-
70s, early 80s.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of his friends had, you know, similar sort of British sports cars because that was the
thing.
in vogue thing. You know?
That or little Italian cars. What are they? The
Alfa
Oh,
Romeo.
Alphas and
Alphas,
stuff.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. I know one of
they
his.
were all in vogue at that time.
Yeah, I know one of his friends had a Austin Healey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think he still had that up until the point where he died.
Yeah, that was the era where all our mates would just drive around in Falcons and Toranas.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my dad's. I think the cars that my dad had prior to the MGB were a HQ Monaro.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he worked for Holden, so it wasn't that hard to get a hold of one of those.
No, well, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, he had a few other things.
So, what about you, Dave? What have you been working on?
Well, geez, I'm currently working on. I'm glad you guys are sitting down. I'm working on a kinetic 148 scale Harrier GR3.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. So I've done the cockpit, I've done the bang seat. It's all closed up, and I'm just starting to work on the seams now.
Nice.
And, for the first time, I know this is going to come as a shock to some people. First time in my life I've ever used the Quinta Studios cockpit sets.
Oh, yeah, and?
Oh, my God, I love them.
Yeah? Yeah, I've heard a lot of good raps about them.
Love them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they look really cool. So bang, 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 cockpit was done in next to no time. And for me, with aircraft, that's the... Some people, it's armour with tracks. Some people with ships, it's all the photo etch. For me, with aircraft, it's the cockpit. So
that's the thing I used to enjoy doing the most.
Oh, no.
Was working on the cockpit.
No. And the ejector seat came out really, really well. And I was fishing around. So you know how you got just the flat plastic of the seat, and you got to try and sort of make that look a little bit real.
Yeah.
I was fishing around the internet one day, and there was a guy, and he just got some paper toweling, like from the kitchen, and he white glued that down in the seat, and then trimmed it all up, and then painted it, so it looks like that kind of
fabric.
Mm-hmm. And I did that, and gee, it came out really well. I'm really impressed with how it came out. Yeah, so that's a trick I'm going to continue to hang on to and use again in the future.
Yep.
So that's coming along nicely.
So what model Harrier is it? I know it's a kinetic, but what?
GR3.
GR3, so just Royal Air Force?
Royal Air Force. Camouflage is all over the aircraft, so it goes underneath as well as on top.
Grey and
two-tone,
grey
and green.
Yep.
And you'll be pleased, the Ski Mondoon's got shark's teeth.
Oh, cool. No, I am impressed. I am impressed
about that. So it's for a
group build.
A group build for Canberra next year.
Yes.
So got to get it done. Mm-hmm. So I'm just right in. I'm just flying through. I'm just loving it. I'm having an absolute ball building this.
Yeah,
thing.
and you already said you've already booked the hotel room for the haunted hotel, which we're going to change.
Canberra's already booked the haunted hotel.
Yes, but we'll change that because that had crap parking.
It did. So if as I said to you when I was making breakfast this morning, going to be a little bit extra if you don't mind paying the extra.
Don't mind at all. Like I said, once I've moved to where I'm moving, I'm just going to be saving money hand over fist.
Speaking of saving money, you know how I like when I fly, I go business class overseas. And
everyone likes to do that.
I'll be able to do that too.
Well, there's I got to head back to the US, I think, in November 2025. And
so you are going next year then?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were going the year after.
I am going the year after as well.
Oh, jeez.
And I'll talk more about that, what we're doing in the future. But anyway, I was looking around for, normally a flight to the US and back, it'll cost you $8,000 for or even $10,000 for a business class ticket. I have found a cheaper way but you got to go around the world. And like you got to go to Europe first and then fly over. Anyway,
bugger that.
Philippine Airlines
stuck at a plane even longer. I thought the trip was long enough.
Philippine Airlines to the US return business class $4,000.
Jeez, that's good.
So the thing about Philippine Airlines is that I've used it quite a bit to go to the Philippines.
I know. So
cattle
they have a reputation for delays.
Oh, that's okay. I can build in delays into my travel. That's fine.
Schedule.
Yep.
Yeah, and like some of their older planes don't have the
pods.
the more modern
TV
thing. You know, the entertainment screen.
That's fine. I want my leg room and I want my low flat bed seat.
Okay.
And I want to put my nose up as people walk past me and go down to the back, and I'm sitting there sipping my champagne.
Okay.
Well, you can keep your champers. Do they serve whiskey?
Anything 5 hours and below, I can do cattle class. 5 hours and above, nah. I mean, that's where
we were lucky when we went to the States a few years ago. At least we got to stop off in Hawaii for
that's why I did that.
For a week.
Because I purposely said, let's stop in Hawaii so we can have a rest, because otherwise it's a 15-hour flight direct. And that way it sort of broke it up, and I can do cattle class kind of.
And I hope if we go because I'm planning on going not next year, but hopefully the year after.
It's going to be the Aussie invasion then.
Yeah. Well, who else is going?
Well, the Quokka's going in 2026.
Ah, cool.
It's the IPMS show is going to be in Virginia. I've already booked my accommodation at Chateau David de Knights.
Cool.
So,
mate, I'll just take me swag. I'll just camp out in there's Virginia. There's plenty of open spaces.
well, we'll actually be
Take me swag. I'll be all right. Oh no, hang on. I'll have to put it up in the tree so I don't get eaten by a bear.
Well, I might as well talk about now, seeing we've started. So, 2026, the plan is to definitely go to IPMS because it's in Virginia.
Yep.
So, I've got an invitation to go to Dave's place.
Cool.
David Knights from the
Other podcast.
Mojo. And I think the Quokka is going the same year as well. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be heading off to Huntsville, Alabama to check out the big rocket farm there.
Oh, cool.
The Space Museum. So that's going to be super cool. And yeah, it should be a really good trip. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. No, I'm planning on doing it.
And anybody, again, the hospitality that Dave puts on is just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're floating in the pool. You've got these electric-powered sort of floaty things you're sitting on that you can sort of steer like a battleship as you're floating in the pool. So you can steer over, pick up your beer, and then head back out in the middle of the pool. His beautiful wife cooks these fantastic hamburgers.
Yep.
And, yeah. And you sit there at night just talking, watching the fireflies go off. That's right. It's really cool.
Oh, sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds really, really good.
There you go. I sold you already.
Yeah.
Chateau,
I said I was planning on
Chateau de Knights.
because, as I said, where I'm moving to, I'm not going to be paying rent ever again.
Yeah.
So I'm saving myself
So get some
good
cash.
$500 a week there.
Well, there you go. Philippine Airlines. Here we come.
Bills are going to be worth next to nothing.
I
But I will be forking out a bit of money because I've got to make myself a model room,
Yeah. Yeah.
which will be getting like one of those studio pods built in the backyard.
Oh yeah, you're actually going to go for one of those, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Get that.
Well,
built
actually,
properly.
let's do, to all our listeners out there, let's do a shout out. So if you've built a studio in your backyard, post your pictures
Yeah, give me ideas.
or send us an email on thebench64@gmail.com. Send us a picture of what you've done and also some costings as well. I think that'd help as well.
Yeah, no, I
Just
don't
give us
mean
a ballpark.
Yeah, ballpark.
Yeah.
Roughly,
Yeah.
because I've got an idea how much it's going to cost me, and it's going to take
So
close to a year to save up to get what I want.
Yeah, so a standalone thing sitting in your backyard.
Yep.
Yep.
Which needs to be a certain size and needs to be properly sealed. Needs to have a split system in there.
See, I think all that stuff you're going to have to do after the fact.
Oh, yeah, once I've built it, then I've got to build it, get it electric wired up.
Yep.
I can't do anything in there till I've got heating and cooling.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you can't do anything anyway. Because they're either going to be too cold or too hot.
Yep.
And a little splitty, you can pick up a little splitty for a couple of grand. Put that in. Doesn't need to be a massive splitty system.
Right.
Just enough to keep it warm and cool.
Yeah.
Nice and comfortable.
And you can do the installation yourself. It's easy.
Yeah. Or just be lazy and just get someone to do the whole freaking thing for me.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few options out there.
Yeah.
You want to sort of avoid one of those ones that are like a full glass on one side, you know?
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I know.
I do want windows.
Yeah, I know there are people out there who listen to the show who have already gone down this path and done it. So I'd be really keen to see what they've got to say.
Because this, what story is, I'm moving back to the family home. Mainly, the main reason being is my dear old Ma's hitting 90.
Yeah.
And she's struggling.
Yep.
And so to help, and she does not want to go into a home. Oh, no, don't even mention the H word.
Yeah.
So I'm the only family member left, so it's up to me. Now, I am been living on my own now for 40 plus years, so it's going to be a huge change for me.
Yeah, it is.
Going to living in a pretty spacious 2-bedroom unit to going to living into 2 small rooms at the back of our house with no model room at all because there'll be nowhere to build. So everything's just going into storage until I get a backyard studio built and then I'll have my own space there to get back cracking in, and because then I can. Well, as you know, with renting, you can only work around what you've been given.
Yeah,
you can't
that's
do
right.
modifications.
Yeah,
Here in
that's right.
Australia, you can't modify. Whereas this is the family home; it's all paid for,
Yep.
and I can modify to my heart's content.
Yep.
That's right.
Quarter acre block. It's got a massive backyard, as you
It's got a
guys
huge
have
backyard.
seen. It's
Huge
a massive
backyard,
backyard. So even with putting a large studio pod in there, there's still going to be a ton of room.
Yep. And you know what? Put a little lagoon pool outside of it so you can just step out and jump in the pool. And
Mate, I've got the
He
plans,
fallen that
the ideas I've got. I want to make a temperate rainforest.
have a cabana there.
Yes, that's the one thing. I want to have a little, what do you call it? A little patio, not a patio, those, little structure with a roof that you can sit underneath and pergola.
Pergola thing, yeah.
Might put a pergola there, a little fake lake.
But just be careful, though, because you're going to attract mosquitoes by having a tropical.
Yeah.
Unless you get the right plants.
Or you can put fish in it.
Yes. Yes, they have like a koi pond.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's going all Zen modeler on us, hasn't he?
I want to be able to sit at my workbench, look out the window, and have like a nice scenery.
We want a photo of you in like a kimono or something like that.
Little Japanese,
or at least a bathrobe, you know?
a little Japanese bridge with those lanterns. But yeah, I've got some great ideas, and as I said, I won't be paying rent. My expenditure is going to be going down by 9/10 of what I'm spending now.
Yeah, and rent in Australia at the moment is horrendously expensive.
Well, that's another reason why I'm moving out, because my rent's going up another $100 a week, which will mean my rent has gone up $200 a week in 1 year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a lot of freaking money.
That's crazy, man.
So yeah, that's my plan. So yeah, no, you won't be seeing me building anything for a while.
Well, like we said, time to get on the figures.
Yeah,
you know.
well, that was one of the things I was planning on doing with the large room. I'm converting into a lounge room, so I've got my own space. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the cupboard doors, because it's got like a little built-in cupboard on the side. So remove the doors, and then I'm just going to build like a bench in there, so I can have my PC set up, and a little extra space on the side with lighting, so I can, as you said, I've got a ton of figures. Thanks, Andrew Judson.
He starts licking his lips every time he sees
me. He just rubs his hands together, and so that's going to be like a little area where I can start practicing and working up my skills on figure modelling.
You know what? I don't know where we talked about this guy, but I saw a thing pop up, and I know you're aware of this. It's called, this guy did this double slap chop method of painting figures.
What the hell is double slap chop?
So what you do is you get your model, you do an undercoat of black, and then from one side you dry brush white.
So you're doing like a zenithal highlight, but with a dry brush.
Then if you're going to say paint it, say it's a goblin, you're going to paint it green, right? You get your dark green wash, and you put that over. You let that dry. Come back, and again do a dry brush highlight again in white. And then
white.
Yes, and then you come back again and then do another wash, but the wash is like 2 tones lighter in say green, and then that's pretty much it. And you just pick out the details.
Oh yeah.
But you said this dude was you'd seen the video and you commented.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. In any case, I'm just always looking at different content. And
I just thought this is a way for me to dip my toe into doing a figure.
Yeah, why not?
So I've just got to choose, look for a figure that has got the right detail that will capture the zenithal. Zenithal, is that the word?
Yeah, zenithal highlights.
Zenithal highlight.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of very detailed sort of figures nowadays, you know.
Actually, one thing I do need to finish off is that Yamato, but on the upside, the Yamato is all the big parts are done.
Oh, good.
So all that's left now is the smaller stuff, which I can do in a small area.
Yep.
Because once I've got to get that done so I can get some money.
Yeah. Well, it'll be your last build for a while.
It will be my last plastic model build for a while, because I'm actually going to get rid of a heap of kits too.
Oh, yeah. How
Well,
you gonna-
since Edward's bringing out the P40s very, very shortly.
yeah, so get rid of all your old P40s.
Get rid of all my whole P40 collection can go. So I can start building that up.
What are you doing with all your built models?
Well, most of them I gave away.
Oh, okay.
I've probably got about 10 aeroplanes left.
Yeah.
All that stuff's just going to go into plastic tubs
Yeah. Yeah.
and stored away because I really don't have anywhere to put them.
Cool.
I've got a couple of cabinets I'll probably get rid of, my glass cabinets.
I'd put them in storage in the garage because they're hard to come by.
The cabinets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're going in storage,
Yeah, yeah, okay.
but I don't know if I'm going to use them again because I might get, once I get my pod done, I might get a proper custom built one, and just all got to do then is just order the glass
Yeah.
and the rails.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot of grand ideas, but as you know, grand ideas sometimes don't always work.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
That's very true.
So that's my future for the next.
Well, have
12
either of you
months.
guys been buying anything?
Yeah, you know what? Here's a story for you.
Here we go.
So I was looking on Hobbyco,
Yeah.
and they had an old one of the sleeker kits I had previously, but it's one with like different wheels, and it's got like, the wheel arches for the wide body kind of thing, that sort of thing. And I thought, that's pretty cool. And then I looked at the sort of image of it built up. That's in the images of when you flick through the product,
Yep.
And I thought, it doesn't look that great, but I'll throw it in the cart anyway. We'll see what goes on, with Black Friday and stuff. And I left it like that. Next minute, I see it. I get a notification, like a few days later, saying your product has been shipped.
Well, that was quick.
What?
I don't even remember buying it.
Whoops.
What I think I might have done is I'd ordered something from somewhere else, and then in the process of setting that up and then looking at some other junk online, I've gone, oh wait, I need to put that order through, and I've clicked on the wrong tab, and then just sort of click, click, and then paid for it.
Oh, well,
At least it was only one kit, because I don't typically buy more than one kit at a time.
Wow.
Oh well, so and then it turned up on my door, so I'm like, okay, I guess I got this thing now. I'll throw it in the shelf,
Yes.
with all the other kits. It's like, well, there goes the space that I'd cleared up.
I want to see you do another muscle car.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
I reckon that Mustang turned out an absolute treat.
Yeah, that did.
I reckon you should do a GM product and a Mopar, one of each.
Yeah.
I reckon Julian should do a GDO. Was it a GDO Judge?
Oh.
That'll look pretty cool.
Okay. Wait, there's a few generations of that, isn't there?
Yeah, you go. I think it's
There's the one with the
71.
There's the one with the rubbery front end.
Mm-hmm.
The later ones.
Yeah, you
And
want.
then
to
there's the
early
classic
ones.
ones
The classic.
with
You want to
the-
go the classic, and in that orange color too. I just reckon it just looks freaking.
Well,
awesome.
see, the thing is, I picked my subjects based on how good the depiction is of the subject.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, some of them are pretty bad. Like that CUDA that Revell does, I think it is. Hemi CUDA.
the 70 Cuda.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
See, I'd like that subject. That's the same body shape as the Challenger, right?
Correct.
And that's from Vanishing Point. So I like that body shape, and it's got some pop culture significance, and I would love to do it, but it's just such a poor depiction of the subject, especially the headlights. There's like this huge gap between them.
Yeah. It's a 69 GDO.
It's like they've undersized the headlights like by a lot. Oh, that one. Yeah. That's
69
the rubber.
GDO.
That's the rubbery
Oh,
front
is
end
that what
one.
they call the rubbery? What do you call it, rubbery?
So see that whole
The front section.
the whole front section where from where the bonnet ends going forward.
Yeah.
That whole thing is like this sort of rubbery material that
is it?
that is painted orange.
Oh,
That's
there you
weird.
go.
Yeah.
But I reckon it
What's
just,
the kit
it's-
manufacturer?
Well, it's the thing. It's the thing with all
hang on.
muscle cars. It's, you're either dealing with AMT or you're dealing with Revell.
Yeah, okay.
And with Revell, like the more modern ones are pretty decent. Like this, like the Mustang I did, and this current E-Type that I'm doing, they're pretty good. But the ones that are older, they're pretty yucko. They're pretty yucko indeed. So with this E-Type, it's got like a full engine and the whole front end swings forward, right?
Yep.
It's like on the real thing. Mm-hmm. And it's a pretty decently...
it's Revell. Revell does the GTO.
Yeah? Oh, it might be at my
So this jack, you're going to build it with the engine so you can...
I already have.
Oh.
So I actually wanted to just do enough of the engine that it didn't look like there was an empty shell from underneath. And I've ended up painting everything. and there's a lot of chrome involved. A lot of chrome.
The trouble with doing the bonnet as it lifts up like that, you got to paint the underneath of the bonnet because people can then see it.
Yeah, see, I have to do that too.
Yeah.
It's mostly painted in there because there's a lot of things I had to paint in there.
That's why curbside's probably better.
Nah, that's all right. I just have to spray a bit of like the grey in there and it'll be fine. Because it doesn't have to be glossy.
True.
It doesn't have to be glossy on the inside.
True.
Yeah.
You're doing yours grey.
Yeah, it's like a grey colour.
Oh, why don't you do
like a light grey colour.
Oh, you've already done that. It's boring, man.
No, I haven't.
You've done grey. What's that other car you did in grey?
I didn't do another car in grey.
Oh, maybe
He's done white.
No, you know what? He brought it to the model club the other week.
And it hadn't been
Oh, that's the one. That'd be the one.
Yeah, that'll be the one.
It's in plastic.
Yep. Okay, I thought it was a different one.
Yeah. So I actually had to airbrush like the interior colour on the ceiling, right? The headliner and stuff. And what's happened is the paint has sort of hit where I've gotten close to the windows. It's hit the edge of that and then sort of ricocheted off and landed on the
rear deck.
the body.
Oh no,
that's not a big deal. It's really not because it's barely there, and you can just polish that out.
Yeah.
It's actually not that bad. See, I'm not even sweating about it.
Easy fix.
Yeah, it's the easiest thing to take care of. And see, like you would actually have more like if that sort of thing happened on an aircraft or something else. You know, I think a lot of people would be stressing and they'd just repaint it, right? Because you wouldn't necessarily... I mean, like, if you hadn't flat coated it, then, you know, I suppose you could polish it out too, but a lot of people wouldn't want to put polish or attempt any kind of polish type of thing on a plane model.
No.
It's inconceivable.
Yeah, well, the problem is then once you got a shiny surface and a flat surface, when you put your flat clear over the top, you're going to get a variance between them. That's what I always say. Well, I always have old school. Once I finish decaling, is I'll give everything a clear coat, so everything's the same consistent shine. So when I put my flat clear coat over the top, there's no variance.
You know, I saw that the other day that Will Pattinson had like pulled all this foil type stuff off his.
Will Patterson, God bless him, because, and I'm sorry to jump in and cut your lunch here,
go for it. That's fine.
But God bless that man, because he's been on such a journey in regards to
bare metal foil.
And as you know, I have those Atlas rockets that are just begging to be bare metal foil.
Yep.
And I've watched his process. He's done all the hard yards. And then when I was in Japan, I picked up Tamiya bare metal foil, for want of a better word.
Yeah, I bought some of that when I was in Korea.
And Will Patterson, God bless him, he went and actually used it, and he said, this is really cool stuff. Except he had some issues on some compound curves because it was so tight. He cracked it. He threw everything in the bin.
I don't think he cracked it. I think he just finished.
Yeah, I think he had enough. He said, that's the end of the journey or something like that. And then I'm just, browsing through Facebook as you do, and it's popped up again. He's done a complete 180 degrees, and he's pulled it out, and he's going to have another crack.
Yep.
Which is fantastic, because then I can follow him and see how he does it, if he has any sort of issues. And anybody out there who does all the hard yards for the rest of us, I mean,
deserves the credit. Yeah.
He doesn't do it for the rest of us. He does it for himself, and we just benefit from it.
But that's the thing. It's what's a term we get here because we stand on the shoulders of giants. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, jeez. If he's listening to this, he's just going to be shaking his head.
He always listens.
He'll be shaking his head going, don't say this, Dave. Don't say this, Dave. Don't say that, Dave.
I just should reach out and say good day and catch up. We should have him on the show next year.
Yeah, get him back on. It's been a while since we had young Will on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the latest update, Dave.
So your Julian just showed me a picture of the P51 that he's doing, and he's ripped it all off and starting from scratch. So he's absolutely
I saw that photo. Yeah, he's ripped it all off. Yeah,
all the bare metal foil off, and he's starting from scratch.
And before we go any further, I just quickly say to our good friend Stuart at Black Hat, thanks for the shout out, mate, on his YouTube station. That was good.
Well, it's you've picked me at the post here because we do need to say a huge thank you to Stuart Rolfe from Black Hat Scale Models.
Yes.
He's got a fantastic YouTube channel.
Yes.
So by all means,
I'm watching his Meng Fokker DR1 progress, which he's doing quite well with.
So by all means, please go along and check out his YouTube channel.
Yes.
And we would be remiss if we didn't also mention our good friend Clayton Ockerby with his Workbench Hobbies.
Yeah, he's got a new one out doing the
Yes, the
Kumpelwagen.
Kumpelwagen.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'll have to watch it.
No, it's a good little episode. And of course, on top of that, the king of them all, of course, is Scott Taylor from Scale Model Supply, who has supported this podcast from the very beginning. Great guy and a great supporter of the hobby who does so much and puts back so much more into the hobby as well.
Like how many companies do you know of that if someone asks a question on Facebook within the next half hour, they're going to get a response from the guy who freaking runs the company and knows what he's doing?
And not only that, but what he does at model show levels and all that sort of stuff.
Donating of paints and tools and
being major sponsor of some of the major shows here in Australia. He's just,
he's the sort of person that makes this hobby great.
Well, see, he's a modeler, so he's come from that sort of background. So
and he does great dinosaurs.
He does great dinosaurs.
I love his dinosaur
His latest one.
Yes, I'm trying to remember what it was. I know I can visualise just trying to remember what the dinosaur was.
Yep.
Was it a Baronix, maybe?
It may well have been.
But it was lying down.
Yeah. And then, last but not least, all of our wonderful Patreon supporters who help us. It's through their support that we're able to sort of do this show.
And they help put coffee in our cups.
They do help put coffee in our cups. And speaking of Patreon supporters, the great surprise this year has been how everybody has really enjoyed the Patreon Wheel of Fortune.
Yes.
And I've got a big announcement for our return show next year.
Ooh. Okay.
Our first Patreon Wheel of Fortune prize next year is going to be a 1/16 scale M113 from Andy's Hobbies.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
So very excited about that. It's only open to Patreon supporters, so if you want to be in the running for a chance.
Have you got yours yet?
No.
You slacker. Expecting you to have one of them.
No, because that's probably the difference between him going business class and going cattle class.
Yeah, that's right.
You haven't seen how much I spent on rockets in the last month. Anyway.
Jeez, that's a good price.
I was going to buy, and I thought that I need to sort of put this out for next year, kick next year off with a bang. So it's going to be a...
So become a patron. You get a big kit if you're lucky.
And speaking of the Patreon Wheel of Fortune, for this episode, we have got one of our lovely collectible on-the-bench coins that we're giving away. So how about we have a quick spin right now and find out who the actual winner of that's going to be. And we've got all the names listed in there. And the wheel's coming around, and the lucky winner is... Oh, no.
Oh, good on him.
Brad Belsham.
Good buddy, Brad.
You know, he sent us an email too. I'm going to read
I'll have to read that, yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats, Brad.
I think he's actually already got on the bench.
You can have another one.
Find out if he's already got one. If he's already got one, then he's not getting another.
No, he's not.
No, we'll find something else for him.
Well, I got the weirdest request from him a little while ago. He said, can you send me some Foster's beer?
Why did you want to drink camel pee for?
I don't know. No, was it Foster's or was it VB?
Oh, God, just as bad.
No.
I think Americans would know Foster's more than VB.
I think it might have been Victorian Bitter. Anyway, so...
No, send him some Crownies or something.
So, you can't get Crownies in cans. And I'm going to ship it to the US, right?
What? You can only get Crownies in cans?
No, you can't get Crownies in cans.
Oh, you can only buy the booze from cans.
No.
Oh, cans.
cans.
I thought you meant cans.
C-A-N.
I thought you meant C-A-I-R-N-S.
That's exactly what I thought he said.
You morons.
Dave butchering the Aussie language.
Anyway, put your earphones on. Anyway, so,
They
I
are
went
on you,
down.
Muppet.
I went down to the local liquor store, bought the beer that he wanted, then rocked up to the post office, packaged it all up, bought the box for it, plonked it on the table, and the guy said, "Oh, you can't send that." I said, "Why not?" He goes, "Because it's alcohol. You're not allowed to send alcohol between countries." I said, "What?" So anyway, I cracked it. I came all the way home. I sent a message to Brad, and he goes, don't worry about this. Say it's like soda or something like that." So
Promotion.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I ripped up the form, the declaration form, and wrote soda and sent
I
it
went
off.
back to the same post office and the guy's going,
No.
yeah, right, mate.
I went to a different post office.
Just see Dave going back to the same guy, and the guy just going, yeah, good on you, mate.
So anyway, so
So what beer did you get him?
I'm sure it's Victorian bitter now that I think about it. 'Cause
Poor
why
guy.
would you want to drink Foster's?
And why would you want to drink VB?
I know,
Well,
VB's
Foster's
nice.
No,
kind of
VB's pretty crap
was
too.
featured in a lot of like movies and stuff in the 80s, right?
I can't remember.
Like Crocodile Dundee and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, Brad will reach out and tell me what it was. So
Yeah.
Anyway, Brad, so I'll reach out about that coin. And
If you already got one, we'll find something else
if you
for you.
no, I won't. He's already had his beer, so that's it. He's done.
We'll find something for him. We'll find something Aussie for him.
All right, how about we have a quick break?
Yes.
We'll come back and we got some emails come in. So we've got
Sweet
some
as.
listener mail. So we'll
Cool.
be back very shortly. All right, let's have a look at some listener mail. And the first one we got in is from Mark, which we hadn't heard from a while. Mark Siglia. And he writes, "Hey fellas, hope you guys are doing well. I disappeared off the radar for a while there and unfortunately missed the Canberra show.
Yeah,
Looking
same,
forward
yeah.
to meeting you blokes and a few others. Anyway, the wrap-up episode of Scale ACT, something kept popping up that has always bugged me. Granted, I'm easily bugged, but here it is. When a kit is built, it becomes a model. I kept hearing about the wonderful display of kits on the tables. I was imagining tables full of boxes before I realised you guys were actually referring to models on tables. Anyway, yeah, I probably need to relax, but damn it, you need to fix this.
That's a pretty good distinction.
It is, and you know what? I'm the worst offender for that because I'll say a kit, and I should be saying a model.
That's because it's two syllable
No,
instead of one.
it's not.
He's got a valid point.
He does have a valid point. So
We're all Aussie, so we all get lazy with our tongues,
Yep.
Cut everything short.
yeah,
We
but
do, Julian.
I can't have one of our listeners out there getting bugged by this, so I've got to try and fix it. Sorry, Mark. I'll try harder, mate. This is for Julian.
Oh,
This comes from, I'm going to let Ian pronounce the name.
Jurvanenville.
I think it might be Yerevan.
Oh, Yerevan, yes.
Hello, fellow car modelers.
I'm pretty sure both of those are wrong.
Hello, fellow car modelers. Is this the right podcast? It's Ville from Finland writing again. Julian mentioned buying the Fujimi BMW M3, which is a horribly misshapen, kind of chopped. Better option would be getting the Ashima B-Max M3. Very nice kit to build. Although that car is a race version, one could craft the Fujimi parts to it or buy a scale production transit kit to make it a street car. Keep up the good work and keep building models. From Villy.
Yep, that's exactly what I would do. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know there was necessarily a Fujimi M3, but yeah, that's what I would do. That's because I when I look at the scale production and all the other sort of aftermarket, you do start the wheels start turning.
Yeah. I just start popping in the head.
So one of the things I did buy for this E-Type was the wire wheels.
Oh, yeah, you need them.
From the 3D printed ones from Ukrainian scale model company, whatever it's called, US something or other, blah, 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 blah. In any case, they're beautiful. I chromed those up. They look fantastic.
Oh, cool.
It was interesting the way that they did the hub design because like they've got the wheel and then they give you like a cup type part that, sort of is the part that enables it to adapt to the kit.
Yes.
Because the way Revell do it, they just have a big, thick shaft part that ends, and then you just sort of slip this wheel over it.
Yep.
And so they've got this this transitionary bit where they've got the cup that goes on there, then you put the wheel on that, and then you've got like a little sort of pin type, like a bolt kind of thing that sort of slides in, and you're supposed to glue it from behind on the inside of that cup.
Right.
Because they're giving you a little hole for the glue to attach to it from in there,
Oh, that's a good idea.
enabling it to spin.
Yep.
I don't need it to spin, so I just
No.
I just do it on. I just glued it all up and then just.
I remember whenever I make car models, I just glue the wheels in place.
It's a really good.
So
It's a really
that's
good
spin.
interference fit. Like I can just slide that cup bit on, and it's not going anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
But
Next-
it looks so good. Sorry.
Next email comes from our latest Patreon Wheel of Fortune winner, which is Brad. And he writes, "Congratulations to Julian the Master. I assume he's become completely insufferable." Well, he always has been completely insufferable. Keep up the good work, boys.
I have
That's
not
from Brad.
harped on about that. All
No,
right.
he hasn't.
No, he's been good, Brad. He's been good. Actually, he's been quite humble about it, to be honest.
He has, surprisingly. Martin Claude writes in, "Hi there, Dave, Ian and Julian. Just want to send my congratulations to you likely lads on your 200th episode milestone and wish you many further successes in the future. You've been a profound future on my own journey in the world of scale modelling."
Yeah, a profound influence, Dave.
What did I say?
A profound future.
Did I really say that?
Yeah.
You've been a profound influence on my own journey in the world of scale modelling. In particular, figures, dioramas and AFV modelling are now a huge part of my bench time, filling the silence for many hundreds of well-spent hours. I've listened to every episode right from the start and several episodes a few times over, where I found some absolute nuggets of wisdom across many and varied topics. If I tried to name them all, I'd be here for hours. What an integral part of the modelling world you have now become, and where and when I can, I recommend you to my growing army of modelling mates, both locally and online. Without delving too deep, I also want to make mention of the positive effect you've had on my mental health, having struggled over the lockdown period and beyond to connect with like minds. I now feel like I'm a valuable part of this awesome thing of yours, a family of creatively inclined gents and ladies too, of course. It took me a few years to well and truly find my feet and get back into the hobby with full gusto, having followed the often travelled path of birds, booze and bands. Mm-hmm. When living overseas during the 2008 global financial crash, the investment company I was working in collapsed and I found myself wanting for a hobby. It came to pass that I wandered into a hobby shop in Amsterdam. Well, just what wasn't a coffee shop, and picked up a master box figure and set some milliput and tried mucking around and converting some British airborne figures without much luck, but plenty of joy.
That's the main thing.
Over time, I've taught myself to sculpt, working on a few larger busts and heads, and am now fully geared to release a few of the figures I've completed. Just need to get them cast and packaged. But if you want to see some of the progress I've been making, feel free to head over to my Instagram page at Zeitgeist_studios.
Oh, cool. We'll check it out.
P.S. My address below if you want to send me a sticker, which I have done. So thanks very much, Martin, who's one of our from Tasmania, which is really
there
cool.
you go.
And Julian just brought up his Insta page, which we're having a look at, and some really, really super cool stuff there. So check it out on Instagram. That is Zeitgeist_studios. Thanks for that, Martin. Last but not least, our last email for the year comes from Dave Lockhart, who writes, "Hi Dave, hope this email finds you, Ian and Julian well. As you folks enter into your summer, the weather is getting a bit chilly here in Atlanta. It's going to be in the high 20s, which I think works out to about -2 degrees for you guys. That's cold for Georgia, isn't it?
I've never been there.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've touched base with you. I enjoyed your episode 202, and congrats to Julian for winning the Masters at the last show. And I hope that Ian's move goes well.
So do I, mate.
I am like you, Dave, when it comes to building ship models. I build museum grade with no weathering. I'm not good at weathering, and why ruin a perfectly good model by trying to dirty it up? I wish the three of you a great Christmas, be well, and happy modelling. That's from Dave Lockhart in Duluth, Georgia.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And I have to say, I do love a nice museum quality ship.
I like them dirty.
Like your models dirty,
I
do you,
like them
Ian?
dirty.
Okay, that's it for listener mail. Of course, if you want to write into us, you can. Simply send an email to onthebench64@gmail.com. And also, don't forget, we have SpeakPipe up and running, so you can actually leave us a voicemail.
Yeah.
Just check out the link in the show notes. Click that link, and that'll lead you to a place where you can leave us a voicemail, and we'll play that on our next show.
But we will.
And as I said, just to remind you guys, we're having a short break, so our next show will be on the 11th of January, 2025. All right. I want to have a quick chat about some stuff that I've purchased recently, which is not models, but tools.
Ooh.
I recently purchased I'm just trying to think of the name of it now. A air purifying.
An air purifier, yeah.
Air purifier. And the reason why I purchased it is because the dust in my build room was starting to really sort of bug me. Mm-hmm. And I thought if you get an air purifier, it'll just clean the air out of it and everything. So the brand I got was a Breville, and I'm just trying to think of
Sure
it.
you didn't buy a toaster?
No, I didn't buy a toaster.
Does this thing have filters for you to clean out?
It does.
Has it caught much?
Well, we'll get to that point in a minute. So it's an advanced 4-stage air purification system. It has a filter which you've got to clean. It's got a microshield light for bacteria and viruses. Oh, big deal. It's got an advanced carbon filter for odours and smoke. And it's got a HEP 13 filter. I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty good. And also a pre-filter. And this one's designed for a large room. I figured I can get a small one, which would probably work in my model room. But this one here will work for this end of the house. So it'll suck up any sort of dust that's coming in and contaminants. Now, talk about sensitive. Mm-hmm. Now, it just sits there, because I've got it set for automatic, so it automatically sort of does its thing. When I'm spraying, I got a spray booth, and I vent it out through the window, and that does a fairly good job. I don't notice the system actually kicking up when it sees it, when I'm painting. But here's the thing: sometimes I'm a bit too lazy, and like I finish sort of spraying, or if I'm working, doing some modelling at the desk, I might just reach over and flip the fan on the paint booth and have a sliced cigarette in my building room, because I couldn't be bothered going outside.
Wow.
I did this with this system in here, and immediately I heard the fan ramp right up. This red light went on it. It's sort of, I'm thinking, what? It's so super sensitive, man. I couldn't believe it. So I thought that was pretty cool. The other thing
it's a hazard light, so big orange or red light that just flashes.
You know what?
Well, as long as it doesn't send a text message to Michelle saying I'm smoking in the house.
Yes.
You know what? It'll probably break, and then he'll Google it after and go, oh yeah, you can only smoke like maybe three cigarettes in the same room as this thing, and then it completely packs up.
I can control it from my phone, so no, it's really cool. Now, I haven't done any sort of scientific studies, but
it feels like it works.
It feels like it works. Yes, it does. It feels like it works.
Will would be very disappointed with you.
I know he would. What I should
Where's
have done...
the science, huh? How come you haven't got out your, air toxicity sensor? And
Well, what I should have done is just cleaned a small patch of where it was dusty in my room and just see whether that, any more dust sort of lands on it.
that's
anyway,
the least scientific test.
What am I going to do?
The next you'll be like, okay, this is the part of the table I licked, and this is the part that I didn't. You know.
The other thing I've bought is because I'm building a lot of rockets that are 3D printed, and I'm getting sick and tired of the resin dust. And resin dust is very hazardous for you.
Yep.
Number two, when you're sanding it, it's a lot more fine for some reason than styrene.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know I can do wet and dry, but the issue is sometimes you need to move a large amount of material, but then it still kicks up that fine dust.
Yep.
Now I always have a mask on when I'm doing it, the proper sort of paint mask, but I still find there's dust everywhere. Yes, I've got the machine over in the corner clearing the atmosphere, but I found this thing which is called a dental vacuum, and it actually sits on the workbench, and it's got a flexible hose with lights on the end of the hose, and as you're doing it, it's sucking it right through like a vacuum cleaner sort of mounted on your desk. So I've just recently purchased that, and that's coming here and should arrive soon.
How big's the container the bits go in? Has it got like a bag or?
It's like a filter on the other end. So, in your paint booth, you get those sorts of filters. So you'd have to take that out and clean that outside. So once I get it and it arrives, I'll test it out. And
you know what? Someone needs to make like a miniature, like a sandblasting cabinet. Except, all it's doing is, sucking away the dust that you're sanding.
You can build it yourself.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I have seen guys do.
You probably get away with just getting one of those computer fans.
I've seen something similar that someone sort of built up, and it was designed just to contain flying parts.
And that's the issue, containing the flying parts or getting rid of the particulates.
Yeah, like when people were doing like tiny little bits of photo etching, like you try and get one off the fret and it just ping, it's gone.
Yeah, so it was basically
like a clear box with two holes in it where you put your hands in and then you click it, and then if anything flies off, it's going to be
they made holes on
area.
the sides because it doesn't need to be that big.
Put your hands in,
and then just a little clear thing over the top. Yeah.
So I'll let you all know how that little journey goes.
Yeah,
and that should be pretty cool.
Definitely.
So that's it from me and what I've purchased in big ticket items. I have seen something that I want to purchase.
Oh, yeah.
This escaped my... I missed it somehow, the announcement and the release of this. So it's from Trumpeter. And in 1/350 scale, they've got the USS Gerald R. Ford CVN 78 being released.
Yeah, with Randall Wilson box art.
Yeah, but this kit...
Well, it's going to be huge.
Comes with a full air wing. It comes with all the little Tilly tractors and the forklifts and all that sort of stuff. It comes already
with Ospreys and F-18s.
Well, it's about 36 aircraft you get. I think I did the count. 36.
E2s by the looks of it.
And it also comes with photo etch. So out of the box...
Yeah, Trumpeter photo etch is a bit dodgy.
Yeah, I know. But out of the box, you could pretty much... build this up without having to buy any sort of aftermarket stuff.
It's a wide ship too.
Well, it's not wider than any sort of...
I don't know.
Well, it is a modern one, isn't it?
It's a modern aircraft.
Okay, so it's just shy of 1 metre in length, and it's just over half a metre wide. Where the hell would you put that on?
Half a metre. Half a metre.
Quarter of a metre. Quarter of a metre.
So it's a wide ship.
That's a big kit, yeah.
It's a wide ship.
Mm.
I'm just looking at like the top. They're showing a photo of it looking down at a 45-degree angle, and that's a lot of space on that deck.
It's a lot of real estate.
Yeah, well, that's why they give you a lot of things to put on it.
Yeah.
So I'm.
That's pretty cool.
I'm waiting to see the cost.
Yeah, that's going to be expensive, isn't it?
I reckon it'll be around. I want to say $400 Aussie.
Yep.
I reckon.
And you're definitely going to get one.
The Tilly cranes look like they're 3D printed.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, that looks 3D printed to me.
For sure.
And that orangey coloured resin.
And the bridge, very, very detailed, and it looks quite superb, actually. So, the only thing is the pad eyes. They look a bit
overscale
to my eyes. So I'm not quite sure.
Well, especially the depth of them.
Yeah, they look huge. Like you'd fall into those.
They look like a Victorian country road.
It does.
You know, that
Victorian suburban road, let alone
yeah,
country
yeah.
road.
the sort of texturing around the actual catapults look really cool. If you can see, like, there's like the Ripley sort of surface finish.
Yeah, no, it looks really good, and the detail looks very good too. So
I reckon the Tilly is plastic because it's got photo etch cab on it.
no, that's a 3D
See, it's
print.
photo etch cab.
Yeah, it's a 3D print
No,
with photo etch.
oh,
Look at the
you
colour of
reckon?
the material. It's that orangey sort
It
of
doesn't
colour.
matter about the color. That's just a test thing. Otherwise, they would have put more detail into that.
All right.
But you'll get one, won't you?
Well, why buy
You're-
something if I don't know where to put it? If I can't put it anywhere when it's finished?
I agree, Dave. Looking at
Looking
someone,
at me. Why are you all looking at me for?
I've still got I want to say USS Boxer LHD to build yet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, it's a cool subject, and I think it's up your alley. I just think that, you need to think of where to put it.
I reckon you might find a space for it.
I've got too many rockets to build, so I've still got, and I've started on my Falcon 9. I've got a Falcon 9 Heavy to build, but I can't really progress much until I figure out a way how to mount it on a stand because it's that tall and also that heavy.
Yep.
So I've got to figure out how the heck I'm going to do that. I might have to reach out on Facebook to some of the real space sort of builds to see if anybody's cracked that because I've got no idea how I'm going to do it.
Yep.
I just don't know.
Hey, Dave, if you buy this this aircraft carrier, what you could do is you could build it into like a desk to replace this one.
In the studio?
Yeah, that's a place to put it.
Yeah.
Because this table is, would comfortably fit like a model that is a meter long.
Yeah. Yeah. See, Dave, there is a way around it. And it would look pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just glass top,
Yeah,
And-
it would.
I've given him an idea.
Yes.
This is one of my superpowers. I love giving people ideas that will cost them great amounts of money.
Never go shopping with Julian because he makes you buy things that you didn't know you wanted. So let's.
It's like that also Wolf of Wall Street thing. Sell me this pen,
Exactly right. All right, so year in review. Let's have a quick sort of look at our year in review, which is really what this episode was supposed to be about, as we're rapidly coming towards the end of the year.
No, yeah.
I'm going to say it's been from my point of view, it's been a hell of a year in regards to travelling and visiting.
Yes, totally agree with
Yeah.
you there.
We went
Catching up with lots of friends and...
Well, let me see now. So, first was my trip to the US, where I caught up with all of our good friends over there at the IPMS Nationals in Wisconsin, and it was a fantastic show, fantastic location for a show, and it was great catching up with so many of our friends. Again, I know I'm banging on about this, but oh my God, the hospitality showed to me by Dave Knights was just exceptional. And if you ever get an invite to go over there for a barbecue or even just a drink, snap it up because he's a wonderful host. And kudos also to Mike,
Mike Basket.
who was the driver. He drove all the way.
Yeah.
Didn't have a break. He was...
Bit of a driving machine, huh?
Oh, yeah. He loves it. So it was, it was just a great time. Those guys looked after me so well. It was wonderful. I can't wait to get back there in 2026 to, as I mentioned earlier on in the show, about what we're going to be doing over there. Might have you in tow, Ian.
Yep.
Drag you along as well.
Oh, I'm looking forward to
Julian, maybe?
I don't know.
Honestly.
Who knows what the future holds? But I'll tell you what, if we end up going to Japan at any point, I would come along for that for sure.
Yeah, I'd love to go to Japan.
Yeah. It's not far. It's only a 9-hour flight.
Can you do Japan on the way?
Yes.
Or why don't we do
Well, he
that?
has.
I did last time.
Why don't we do that?
Because last time I went...
Because they've got some really cool museums over there, like with aircraft in them that you just won't find anywhere else.
yeah.
Which I'm really looking forward to.
So
I don't think you realize how much you'd be biting off. Like,
yeah, it's Japan's a large country. Man.
No one visits Japan without sort of going, I really did far less than I thought I would.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's so much more to see.
Yeah. And the trouble is usually IPMS is on the same time as summer. And
Yeah, Japan in summer is pretty
well,
humid.
Tokyo in summer ain't no fun. Let me
It's
tell you
humid,
that right
isn't
now.
it?
Oh my God, I
Very
couldn't believe how humid it was. I thought I was in bloody Darwin. It was that humid.
That's all right.
Yeah, and I know. Look, some of the other pods have been sort of throwing around the idea of doing a trip to Japan. So I think it'd be nice for us all to sort of go up there for the
Shizuoka.
Shizuoka hobby show.
Hobby show.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be very cool.
Like to do that.
And for us, like I said, it's only a 9-hour flight.
Yeah.
I can do that in
Cattle class.
No, I can do that in premium economy quite comfortably. So we did that, and then I had a great time over there. Then, of course, there was our trip up to Brisbane to
QMHE. That
QMHE.
was what a fantastic show that was.
It was.
Absolutely had a great time. Great people, great hospitality.
Yep.
Caught up with some people I've been really wanting to meet up with.
And we were so well looked after up there.
Yep.
The guys who ran the show did a fantastic, put a fantastic event.
Mm-hmm.
It blew me away how young the crowd was and how many,
which is a good sign.
how many families came through.
Yep.
And families that came through, and the kids are walking out, and talking about boys and girls, they're walking out with kits under their arms. That really sort of it must be something in the heat up there or something, but it seems like it's a real sort of family sort of event, and it was very exciting to see that. And we caught with so many great people up there, and I can't wait to get up there again next year.
Yeah, got to spend some time with Quokka. His place.
We did.
Had the lovely biscuits his wife made.
Yeah, and he brought some down to Canberra for us as well.
That's right.
Which was nice. I was threatening to fly up there next year, but I think I might have to drive again.
Why is that?
Oh, it's just dragging all the recording gear and everything.
No, we can fly. I prefer to fly.
Would you?
Yeah, it was a hell of a drive.
All right, okay. We'll look at flying.
But we can split the stuff up
Okay, all right.
between us all. That's no problem. If Julian's going, you can take one box in your luggage. I can take another box in my luggage, and Julian can take a box in his luggage.
All right, we'll fly. We'll have to get the date so I can lock in some good prices. Then, of course, on the back of that, we had the wonderful Scale ACT, which was only like a month ago now.
Yeah.
Which seems like just like yesterday.
It's always a great show.
Oh, yeah.
I love that show.
Yeah. If there's two shows you've got to go to in Australia, it has to be Queensland and it's got to be Canberra.
Yep.
Yep.
But mind you, there's a lot of shows we still haven't been to.
I know. Adelaide's
on the list.
It is.
Plus, we still got to get to New Zealand.
I know.
We've been threatening to go to New Zealand for years.
We have. That's only a 4-hour flight.
Yeah. And I think you and I discussed it. Start at the North Island and work our way down. There's some really great museums.
We were going to go to...
Weta Workshop. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Every modeller has to get to Weta Workshop.
I know, yeah. I'd be worried about going in there with my credit card. Got some cool stuff there for sale.
Yeah, they have workshops there too. I'd love to do one of their workshops.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's something you learn every day.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
And they've got some great museums over there in New Zealand as well.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, especially because they do like 1/1 scale dioramas in their museums, and they look freaking fantastic.
So that was for me. That was my year, and of course, I built. I was just thinking before we started the show. I want to say I finished 6 models this year.
I don't think I finished one,
which was pretty good for me.
But then again, I just haven't had time this year.
Yeah, I know. You've got circumstances that are preventing you from moving forward.
Which I'm hoping gets fixed now that I'm moving.
What about you, Jill? Your year in review. What were your highlights for you? How many models did you get finished?
Definitely Scale ACT. That was. I mean, like, I didn't go to that many shows really, so that was the best one that I went to, and I really enjoyed the weekend away. That's another thing. There's a big difference between.
Was that the first time you've been?
No, second time.
No, second time. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a different it's a whole different thing traveling to a show
Yes.
rather than going to a local one.
You make a very good point there. It is.
Yeah. Because, like, if you go to a local one, it's sort of like, okay, you're like, it's just over there, and it's kind of, it's a bit out of the way to drive, and then I got to go home, and then back again, and then drive, all that sort of crap, and you sort of got to weigh it against a regular weekend, right? It's like, should I go today, or should I just miss today and then go tomorrow?
Yep.
That kind of thing. You do end up making these sort of, debates in your head, whereas if you go and travel to a show, you're committed to it for the whole weekend anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Mind you, next year, Dave and I are going to go to the National Dinosaur Museum.
Yes, we are. Yeah,
I've been threatening Dave for years,
Yeah.
and Dave, no, and all of a sudden this year, Dave said, "Yeah, right, we'll do it." Yeah,
Yeah, it's a whole different thing, and that's part of like the appeal to any sort of travel show. Like if you travel to the US and you go to Nats, it's you're meeting up with everybody.
that's the thing.
You're not going to drive.
It's not just to me. It's not really the show.
It's almost like a modelling vacation.
It's more for me. It's meeting up with the people whom you've only ever had contact with online.
Yep.
And to actually put a face to the name.
Yeah.
And you go out for dinner and drinks and all that sort of stuff.
And get to socialise and just be completely nerdy with people who have the same ideas and thought processes as yourself, but they're from a totally different country.
Yeah. It's definitely an experience.
So cool. Absolutely. It's the sort of thing you take with you for the rest of your life.
You know what? I think if you, it's much easier to do if you know that there are people there already that you're going to meet, that you've talked to online.
Yep.
If you haven't been there and you don't know anyone ahead of time,
it could be a bit.
It's a bit sort of forced, so to speak.
Yep.
Because you're gonna have to talk to people. You're gonna have to like sort of put yourself out there a bit.
Which,
But,
as you know, I don't have a problem doing that, as you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the difference between was somewhat, hooked into the community versus not, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
But I think everybody out there should at least endeavour to make one show if they've never been before. It'll open your eyes up and it'll change your outlook or give you a different perspective on the hobby, I should say. And we always highly recommend you get out there and support your local shows. And if you've never been to one, just go and you don't have to enter. Just go and check it out.
You'd be surprised. You'll go in there and all of a sudden, before you know it, you'll be talking to someone.
Yeah, for sure.
And you'll be swapping ideas and making contacts and so forth.
Yeah.
One of my favourite things when people come and talk to me at shows is, they'll introduce themselves. They'll just come out and say, "Oh, hey, Julian," and shake hands and things. And it's like show me your model. Because they'll always have brought a model and put it on the table. It's like, show me your model. Like, so I can, the chances of me remembering who someone is may not be that high, but I'll at least remember the model. Instead of putting a name to a face, it's like I'll put a name to a model.
Yes.
I'm hopeless with names. I'm so bad.
Yeah, but that's why it's better to look at their model, because then you're more likely to remember.
Yeah. That's true. That's very true. The other big thing that happened this year was the announcement of a new modelling organisation, Models Without Borders, which certainly very excited about. And they're growing to the point now where they're actually calling for some people to assist with them. So there's 4 positions going at the moment. There's the Chief Technology Officer. And
what does that entail?
It's saying that the current time will go about 2 hours a week, but that will obviously expand during the development period. And I'm just on the website here checking it out and reading it. And it's saying that they need to obviously be doing qualifications, experience in managing contracts, experience costs and keeping within budget, able to set project goals and budgets.
This is all volunteer work, isn't it?
Yeah, it is all volunteer work.
So, you're not going to get paid for it.
No, and the oversee development of new solutions, manage the company, the email delivery, manage the content management system, and also the development, delivery and operation of the exhibition and evaluation system, which I know they're currently working on, and a few other sort of jobs there. But there's 4 new positions. So there's Chief Technology position. There's the position of Curators, which is for Education Outreach, a Librarian for the Education Outreach Department, and also Communications Director for Social Media. So if one of those 4 things is something that sort of excites you or interests you, go to modelers.org. That's modelers.org. Models Without Borders, and check out the latest updates, and it will show you those positions there, also with a way of responding. So that's pretty cool. And I think they've got their first show kicking off next year, hence my travelling to the US next year for that. So that's pretty exciting. But we'll have more news of that next year as we sort of move forward with that.
Fantastic.
Well, the more the merrier.
Yeah, absolutely.
More shows, the better.
Absolutely. All right, gents. I think that's it for our year in review. It's been a great ride. It's the listeners is what have made it as usual.
Always. Without you guys, we're nothing.
Of course, the other thing, we had our 200th episode this year, which was really exciting. And next year we're heading into season 9, our 9th year of doing this podcast.
Well, that's kind of ominous.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Like because I think about it in numerical terms. And it's like you know, like the game series Final Fantasy 9, and it's like it's getting really deep into the series. You know, it's like or you know, season 9 of like a TV show. And you're like, well, that's getting a bit long in the tooth.
No,
not yet.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
9's a lot.
I do. Speaking of TV shows, I'm just going to do a quick interruption here.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
There's a series that is on Prime at the moment called Secret Level, and it's a whole
advertised.
Yeah, it's like not like Black Mirror, but it's kinda in that genre. But this is about, I want to say, 8 short episodes, and it's taken
to do with computer games.
Yeah. Excuse me. Go and check it out. It'll blow your mind. Some of them will really blow your mind.
Yeah, they've done a Space Marine one, haven't they?
Yeah, gee, that's
40K.
Oh, that's
Space
good.
Marine. Yeah.
So if you've ever been a gamer, or even if you're sort of interested in gaming or science fiction stuff, go and check this out. It'll you really. Some of the episodes are only 10 minutes. Some I think there's one that maybe 20 minutes or 15. So it's just a whole heap of little short ones, and yeah, it's really cool. So go check that out if you're a gaming geek or a sci-fi geek or a fantasy geek.
That'll be next year when I've moved in.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's another thing where I'm moving to. I'm walking distance to the local hobby shop.
Oh no,
that's a scary thought. I can literally walk there and back.
I didn't know whales could walk out of water.
I can see you like on a push bike, you know, and
no, I'm not trying to cross the Princess Highway. No,
yeah, I know. That's why it'll look even more janky. You know, you on a bicycle with like a big 1350 ship under your arm, trying to bicycle along.
So yeah, thanks to all our listeners. It's been a great ride this year. It's been really interesting, and we've got some great ideas coming for next year. Some interesting guests we're hoping to get lined up.
Cool.
So it should be a great ride. So again, I just want to thank Scott from SMS Paints.
Yes.
I want to thank Stuart Rolfe from Black Hat Scale Models YouTube channel. Check that out. Our good mate also Clayton Ockerby from Workbench Hobbies, and all of our wonderful Patreon supporters, and of course all of our listeners.
Don't forget Lincoln.
Oh, not Link.
Don't forget Link. Can't forget Link.
We try to forget Link.
No, we don't forget Link. Link's great. Link's an awesome guy.
He is.
And especially all you listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's it from me for the year. Julian.
Yeah, I agree.
Ian.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. And all the best for the Christmas and New Year. And look forward to recording for you all next year.
Well said. We'll see you next year, guys. Thanks very much. Thank you for your support, and thank you for listening throughout 2024, and we certainly look forward to your support again in 2025. In the meantime, there are a host of other wonderful podcasts for you to listen to. To find out all about these great podcasts, go to modelpodcasts.com, where there is a grouping of all of the other fantastic podcasts that you can listen to. And don't forget to check out our great friend Stuart Rolfe at Black Hat Scale Models on YouTube, and also, of course, Clayton Ockerby from Workbench Hobbies also on YouTube. We thoroughly recommend both of those YouTube channels as a great resource for you. Thanks very much again for your support in 2024. It's been great being here with you and great being here for you, and we'll see you in 2025.